Welcome to Piece of the Past. Here, history is not loud, it is a whisper. The candles glow, apartments crinkle, a tale of the past whispered softly to you. This is your sanctuary of soft storytelling, where we wander the quiet corridors of forgotten places. Breathe in the stillness of the centuries and find calm in the echoes of the past. So get cozy, come closer, and let the past whisper to you. The year is 1850. A grey mist curls above the rooftops of London, and the reign of Queen Victoria has settled over Britain like a crown of iron and lace. Each sunrise brings with it the hum of factory wheels, the hiss of steam engines, and the rustle of newspapers filled with both progress and scandal. But what was daily life like for the millions who lived under her watchful eye? Come closer, my friend. Let us step into the parlor, the factory floor, the church pew, and the crowded tenement. Together, we will wander through the world of the Victorians, a world of contrasts where wealth and poverty, piety and pleasure, refinement and hardship all coexisted beneath the same smoky sky. Dawn arrives differently depending on where you live. In the homes of the wealthy, a bell rings softly in the servants' quarters. Footmen and maids stir first, lighting the fires, drawing back the velvet curtains, and bringing warm water for washing. The lady of the house will awaken to tea on a tray, perhaps a slice of buttered toast, while her husband reads the Times before dressing for a day of meetings at his gentleman's club or a seat in Parliament. In the modest townhouses of the middle class, mornings are brisk and orderly. The husband hurries to work as a clerk, lawyer, or shop owner. His wife oversees the household, managing a servant if they can afford one, or performing the tasks herself, sweeping, mending, preparing breakfast. The children are readied for school, dressed neatly in starched collars and pinafores, their slate boards tucked under their arms. But for the poor, morning comes with the clang of a factory bell. Families crowd into single rooms where porridge simmers thinly on the coal stove. Mothers rise early to scrub laundry or lace up boots before a long walk to the mill. Children, some as young as 6 or 7, gulp their breakfast and join the march to dim workshops or smoke-filled factories. The sun may rise on all equally, but how it greets each Victorian is vastly unequal. Work and industry Britain in the 19th century was a nation of workers. Factories belched smoke into the sky, their tall chimneys standing like monuments to progress. Inside, men and women toiled at clattering machines, their hands quick and calloused, their hours long and punishing. In coal mines, boys crawled through narrow tunnels by candlelight, dragging carts of blackened rock. In shipyards, hammers rang against iron hulls as the age of steam and steel reshaped the seas. Farmers still worked at the land, but even the countryside was changing. Railways cut across fields, bringing towns and cities ever closer. For women of the upper classes, work was not expected, though charity and social duties filled their days. Middle-class women might work as governesses, school teachers, or shopkeepers, often balancing employment with expectations of domestic care. Poorer women found employment as servants, laundresses, seamstresses, or in the dangerous textile mills where the whir of spinning frames never ceased. And children, so many children worked. They swept chimneys, carried coal, tended machines. Their labor was cheap, their small bodies useful in cramped spaces. Laws would eventually limit these harsh practices, but for much of Victoria's reign, childhood was often a working day. When work was done, or when the afternoon called for rest, the home became the center of life. For those with means, the parlor was the pride of the household. It was here that visitors were received, tea was poured, etiquette was displayed. Every key cushion, every curtain, every family portrait declared respectability. The Victorian was to value order, propriety, and appearance. Etiquette ruled even the smallest interactions. A lady would leave a calling card when visiting, carefully folded to indicate whether she had come in person or simply offered her regards. Manners were strict, and a misstep in them was to risk social embarrassment. Meals reflected this formality. The wealthier classes dined in courses, beginning with soups, moving to roasts, and finishing with sweets, all accompanied by tea or wine. Middle-class families enjoyed simpler meals: bread, cheese, meat, pies. Poor often subsisted on bread and dripping, or bought hot eels, pies, and roasted chestnuts from street vendors. Children's lives, too, were shaped by class. The privileged were educated in Latin, literature, and history, while poor children might attend crowded charity schools. If they went to school at all. Religion cast a long shadow across the Victorian world. On Sundays, bells rang across cities and countryside alike, calling families to church. Attendance was considered a moral duty, and sermons reinforced ideals of piety, modesty, and discipline. The Victorians saw themselves as a people of high moral purpose. Respectability meant not only behaving well in public, but cultivating virtue at home. Bible readings were common in parlors, and missionary societies spread faith abroad. Yet beneath this surface of devotion, there were contradictions. In houses and taverns filled nightly with workers. Prostitution was widespread in industrial cities. Social reformers clashed with harsh realities, trying to uplift the poor while maintaining strict codes of morality. Religion shaped not only belief, but law, literature, and even architecture. Live in the Victorian era was to live in a world where faith and respectability intertwined with almost every decision. The Victorians lived in a world of contrasts, glittering parlors and grim factories, sermons and street songs, lace-trimmed gowns and soot-stained aprons, yet all shared a daily rhythm shaped by industry, ritual, and belief. They rose with the chiming of bells, labored under the march of progress, gathered in parlors or public houses, and closed their days in flickering light. Their world may be gone, but its whispers linger still in the novels we read, the architecture that remains, and the moral codes that echo faintly in our own. So, tonight, as your candle burns low, imagine the footsteps of those who came before, the whispers of a Victorian morning, a Victorian evening, a Victorian life. Thank you for spending this quiet moment in history with me here at Piece of the Past. If you enjoyed your stay in the candlelight, please subscribe so the next story finds you. Until then, may your nights be calm and your dreams timeless.